Today, let us think about the Lord's Prayer. We Christians pray this prayer almost every day. We learned it by heart in our childhood, and we have been praying this prayer almost every day, probably several times a day. As a result, we have stopped thinking about the meaning of the prayer. We might not have got a chance to sit down and think about what it means. That's what we are going to do now. We are going to sit down quietly. We are going to imagine that we are seeing that prayer for the first time. Let's imagine that we are in Palestine at the time of Jesus. Let's imagine that we are living at the time of Jesus and we are sitting among the disciples of Jesus when Jesus teaches this prayer. So we are living at the time of Jesus and we have never heard this prayer before. So we are reading this prayer or listening to this prayer for the very first time in our life. I know it's a little difficult, but let's try that. Our Father, who art in heaven. So who is praying this prayer and to whom is this prayer addressed? And what is the subject matter of this prayer? So let's find the meaning of these questions. Our Father who art in heaven. The prayer is addressed to Father in heaven. So the prayer is prayed by the children of this Father who are on earth. We, the children of God, pray to our Father in heaven. So our Father is in heaven, but we, the children of this Father, are on the earth. So we assume that the world has two parts. The world is like a two-story building with heaven at the top and earth at the bottom. God, our Father, is in heaven, and earth is, and we, the children, are on the earth. So who is our Father in heaven? When you go down, you see that we say, thy kingdom come. So we assume that our Father, or God, is the King of heaven. Our Father is the King of heaven, and we are the princes and princesses, but unfortunately we don't live with God in heaven, we live on the earth. We don't know why. Now, our Father rules only heaven, not the earth. The will of our Father is done only in the heaven. Our Father's will is not done on the earth. If so, who rules our earth? When we come down, we see that deliver us from the evil one. The evil one is Satan. Right now, Satan is ruling the world. The will of Satan is done here. So the subject matter of the prayer is this: our Father, right now Satan is ruling our world, and our life here is not comfortable. We want you to come down. We want you to rule this world also along with heaven. We want thy rule to be extended from heaven to the earth. We are fed up with the rule of Satan. We don't want the rule of Satan in this world. We want thee to rule our world also. So that is what primarily we are asking God. So in those days, people believed that the world was ruled by Satan. That was an explanation of why there is so much evil in the world. If God is good, if God is a good God, holy God, loving God, why is there so much evil in the world? So the explanation is that, well, the world is not ruled by God. The world is ruled by Satan, the evil one. So now another question comes, why does God allow the evil one to rule the world? How did God, the good God, appoint an evil one as the ruler of the world? So now the answer is that when God appointed Satan, Satan was not Satan. Satan was a good angel. Satan was good. Later, this angel rebelled against God and became Satan. Satan in the original uh, language means the rebel, the one who rebelled against God. So people believe that one day God would remove Satan from his rule and God would put someone else replace Satan to rule the world. So one day God's kingdom will come to the earth. God's will be done on earth. And people were hopefully looking forward to such a time when God would rule our world. Then in such a world there won't be any evil, there won't be any suffering, there won't be any mismanagement. Right now the world is full of evil, there's suffering, there's death, there's a lot of mismanagement. So when God rules, everything will be okay. Our world will be heaven. So in this prayer, we are asking God to extend the rule of God from heaven to earth.